Once again, it's on. It's your boy Carcino here, and let's talk about Joe Budden versus Taxstone. Tax season. That was a funny podcast because, one, Joe Budden started doing his own podcast and he got invited to do the show. He's very familiar with one of the female ladies that help run the podcast show that they have over there. And this is one thing about podcasts I don't want to do. You know, I don't want to be dictated to. I don't want to have a show of that magnitude and deal with it like this is a job. You see, I don't want that. I have things that I do. So when people say, man, you should just do a podcast, just upload all this to a podcast, that's extra money. I'm like, dude, I'm cool with what I'm doing. I don't need something oversaturated. I don't need somebody taking some out of content where they come around and try to sue and do all this other nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool with the way this format is. YouTube takes all the blame for my actions. And plus, I'm very smart when it comes to saying things a right way. So if they want to come after me, they have to get creative, and it's a waste of time, energy, and money. Unless I really hit a nerve to them, and then that's just on them. But anyway, let's go into this, reason that this happened. So Joe Budden agreed to do this podcast with Taxstone. And in the beginning, he's engaged with Tax. Then it gets to a point where the interview is going in a direction that Joe is not happy with. Once he starts bringing up old stuff, like he don't mind the Def Jam thing, basically, that's okay. But when you start talking about Esther Baxter and the Wu-Tang Clan beating him up and all the beef with that, to him, now you're trying to make it an aggressive, negative interview. Like, even the battle, it was kind of ruffling his feathers a little bit, but it's okay to talk about the battle because it was something recent with him and Hollow the Don. Now, of course, Joe felt he won that battle, but when has he ever been in something that he didn't think he won? But the conversation started to get irregular once they got on the subject of Esther Baxter, and once Joe Budden said, I cannot speak for her, when he says, did you choke her? No. Did you ever abuse her? No. Well, why do you think she said that? I don't know. I'm not her. You would have to ask her that. Now, anybody else normally would just move on to the next question and take it from there. Tax goes ballistic. Yo, what kind of questions, man? What kind of statement? What's wrong with you, son? What's wrong with this Negro, son? What is wrong with you? Huh? I'm asking you a question. You know what? Forget it. I don't know how you friends with this dude. Let's move on to the next question. So you got an album coming out. You're pretty fascinating. I just like to sit back and watch you. Because I've actually said about 40 words this whole podcast. I've just been sitting here, I see where the miscommunication is. It's like he's in the doctor's chair, like sitting back watching Tax, and Tax just losing. Like, what? I'm asking you a question, son. You ain't answering the question. What the hell is this? Tax, calm down. What's wrong with you, son? What's wrong? What's wrong with this dude, man? I'm asking you a question. Are you going to continue to scream in my ear? Yeah. Well, I think we should end this now. What? I'm asking you. Just answer the question, man. What's wrong with you? So, Tax goes to insist that he threw out Joe Budden. This is why I threw out Joe Budden. I'm like, wow. See, you got to know the element of the person you're dealing with. And Joe should have known that. I mean, you got to understand, if you choose to do an interview with Joe Budden, you should have a program full of questions. You should know exactly what this person has going on before you even ask him. You guys are there to inform the public, not each other. So when this interview takes place, you know, the person is not being blindsided with garbage. You know, this is a lot of reasons why I didn't choose not to do interviews with certain people that wanted to interview me on podcasts. Because one person, they just want to get me on there because they friends with such and such, and they want to join Dig to see what I know and what I don't know. But Joe was right in this situation. I'm going to take this call and see what's up. Yeah, we'll holler at y'all later. What's going on?